It's Magic 102.3 and 92.7. VJ in the midday, Vic Jagger. And you know, I always love when artists, come to see me and they're on time. Hi, Raheem.
Hey,
Raheem
boo.
DeVaughn.
What's up?
What's up? I mean, you got a lot going on.
I do. I always got a lot going on.
New
album just
and the one
came
thing
out.
I can say about you is you stay in the studio.
Yeah.
So we are excited
Have
about
you heard
this
the album
yet? I haven't heard it yet.
You need to check it out.
I will. I will definitely check it out. However, I have talked to a few people who have heard the album.
And what's the street saying?
And they said it's really, really good.
Thank you.
So I am definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And you have your single Just Right that we're going to play a little later.
Yeah.
So tell us about the process for this album, The Love Reunion.
The process, like, you know, when I create a body of work, it's ongoing. So I'm always working on like multiple things at one time.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And kind of like saying, all right, this song's gonna go in this project, this gonna go here, da. And you know, but this record in particular is like, it's kind of like the evolution, you know, entering into the second decade, you know, as an artist. This is my second album in the last 9 months.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
that's why I'm like, I don't know how you do it. You stay in the studio, but then I also see you doing shows like all the time.
And
so
a plethora of community work. Well, the thing is, when I'm in different cities, I usually get studio time in a different city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like, you know, instead of going to the after party and after the after party is the hotel lobby, like
right.
after the after party be the studio.
The studio.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the significance of this album is that it came out.
Well, yeah, so this album dropped on June 28th, and my first album, The Love Experience, dropped on June 28th, 2005.
So you're taking us back to that vibe?
I mean, I can't take you. I can't. You got to hear it for yourself. I want from what people are saying, they're saying it's my best album. And and prior to this, I would always hear people say, you know, The Love Experience was my
classic.
favorite. But people saying like hands down, like sonically, this is just like it's doing it for them. You know what I mean? But I know what it is though too, because I know the elements of me, and I know like you know, one thing about me, I try to keep people around me that like the voice of reason or the voice of truth.
Yeah.
So I got a close friend of mine. His name he's from Queens. His name's Tara, and so we can be riding. He gonna tell me what's working, whatever. And another good friend of mine, Big Cat in Atlanta, and he'll say like, hey man, you need to like. People love the mixtapes too. You know, I got about 30 mixtapes out.
Right.
You know, over the last 15 years, and the mixtapes always had a little more edge to them than the albums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I found a way to kind of like combine those. Like really, the gag is like the Decade of Love King R&B trilogy series is really like it's like a mixtape in my mind. You know what I mean? But it's all original music and. You know what I mean? Like I'm very meticulous about the track listings and what song goes here, and you know what I mean. So take
us on the journey of The Love Reunion, because I feel like I love an album where I can get into my car, I can ride out, and I can listen to the album the entire way through.
Yeah, it's a time. I like the hope that I think that every time I give the world an album that you can listen to it, and I put a lot of work into what I do, and just even down to the track listing, or if I'm gonna have interludes on this one or not have interludes on this one. And what was cool about this, I did do some little fine tuning and changing at the last minute after my, not the trip I took to Africa this time, but a previous trip where I was out there 3 months ago.
Is that the one where DJ Face was with you?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because he came back talking about how amazing that trip was.
And what's crazy is on that trip, there was a portion of the trip where we were riding on, you know, a tour on a tour van, and we were riding through Ghana, and he was literally tapping out and making beats.
Oh, nice.
On one of those. He ended up producing a track on the record, "The Kiss by the Sun."
Listen,
you haven't heard the album yet, so you wouldn't know what I'm talking about.
But what I'm saying is he has told me about this record for ever. Like
he produced.
So he celebrated.
So
you know, when the album came out, so I got a track on it. I'm like, I know.
But that's always been my thing, like putting cats on. You know what I mean? Like and just I always been on like putting cats on, keeping it homegrown. I mean, like, you know, Decade of a Love King, the volume 1 of the trilogy. You know, I had Chaz on there, I had Phil on there, I had Fat Trail on there. You know what I mean? So
DC artist.
yeah. So I just with me, I march to a different drum, and you know what I mean. If I'm gonna go get the feature, I'm gonna spread the love with the home team. You know what I mean? So I just try to do that's always been the energy. That's gonna always be my energy.
So you have so much great music over the years, and when you do shows, how do you kind of put it all together? Like, do you say, okay, I'm gonna take it back to the first album?
That's getting more difficult because it's, you know, it's album number 7. You know, now I'm doing concerts where, you know, on an average they're an hour. You know, and the philosophy is kind of like always been in the past. You know, you do the hits, you do the records. You know, you got to do the hits, and then you got album favorites. And
I don't always agree with that though, because I feel like there are some tracks that artists will have that's so dope, and you want them to perform it live.
They want to hear. It's just kind of figuring it out, and
like Garden of Love. I don't remember you.
Yeah,
Garden of Love is like
I gotta do I gotta do a B-side show, a B-side tour, a B-side like live experience or something.
Put that together.
I figure it out.
That.
It's just a lot. It's a lot of music. You know what I mean? I'm like right now I'm finishing up a go-go album. You know, so.
So all of that speaks to the type of artist that you are, you know, like always doing music, always staying true to the artist that you've been. I don't think you've gone left too much like a few artists have, where it's just like, this is not who we.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I do what I do what I do best. I do what works for me. If it's broke, don't try to fix it. I do evolve though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I keep my ear to the street. So like, you know, I came out in what was, you know, coined as the tail end of what was coined as the neo soul era. You know what I mean? I never really liked that title for me because I felt like I was so much more than that. I had a country song on my first album called Cadillac. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like you know what I mean? That's if you listen to the record, it's a country record. Friday had a kind of country twang to it as well. But I say that to say this is that when you listen or you get you get this brand new album that's available at all your mom and pop stores here in the city. You know, they still sell. I'm still selling CDs. Like I ain't gonna say who, what, but when next week come around, we'll see what the numbers do. But I'm selling.
What you trying to?
I'm just saying that I'm selling. Because streaming.
You got the street team out.
Well, what we got what it is as artists that are. I get 3 generations at my show, so I know my demographic, and as an artist, you need to know who the consumers are. Okay. So I have consumers that stream, and then I have consumers that still want a physical copy of the product, like signed, sealed, and delivered. Like I signed 600. We had to shut the orders down. We did pre-order, get an autographed copy of the CD. It hit 600. I signed 600 CDs. Yeah. You know what I mean? Personalize them. The people are starting to get them now this week and opening them up, and you know what I mean. So it's an eye opener for me because I started to believe that narrative that black folks don't buy music anymore, that they don't support their own, and whoop de whoop. When the reality is that my philosophy had to change. It's just like when white folks stop selling CDs, that's when I'll stop selling CDs. Because they're still selling. Because every mom and pop store that I went to in Atlanta, I did 3 in stores. That was the kind of like the consensus is like, we don't come to support those stores, and guess who they're still in business. So guess whose music they're selling?
Right.
Britney Spears. Not Britney Spears, but Britney kind of like, but yeah, like
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, and you know what I mean. So, and or the Nipsey Hussles of the world that know, you know, and are entrepreneurs and understand what's happening with the culture. So, again, it's like, you know, you want to get some of the money or you try to get all the money, but more importantly, it's like connecting and keeping that organic experience with the fan and the people that create. You know, you can't just think you can just be on social media and the product gonna move like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people rely on that. You can tell which artists rely on it, and it's just like you have thousands of followers, but your album only sells.
Well, the proof show. The proof is
a couple hundred.
The proof is in you know, when you get into ticket sales.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
well, I know you have so many sold out shows. your DJs are, I work with your DJs. So
Yeah.
Rico
Shout out
will
to
come in
DJ
here
Dirty
talking about
Rico.
it. I was actually looking at his live, and y'all have a whole production, like
shout out to
Rocky about
Jarrell
to
and the
come to the
band and
stage for
everybody.
real. So it's always great to see you guys going to different cities and really putting on for our city. So we thank you for that. And of course, we love that you have this new album out. And I will tell you that I haven't listened to it yet, but that don't mean I'm not going to listen
Cool.
to it.
I'll know when you listen, because you have
I'll hit you up
your skin will be resonating different.
Oh,
You'll be glowing. You're gonna want
Okay,
you're gonna do
Rob.
some things.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So-
what's happening.
So now you have to give the entire DMV a taste of this incredible project. Intro your song.
Well, lately I've been tapping into my inner goat. So this is once again I'm here, man. Album number 7, 14, 15 years later, greater, tapping into my inner goat. This is a world premiere right here. You heard it first right here on Magic 102.3. You know what it is? It's called Just Right. Love King of R&B, GOAT.